Hey guys, welcome back again to the Zeal Cigar Review. Today we're going to be talking about how to store your cigars, whether they're in tubes, cellophane, or no cellophane, and the humidor that you choose to age your cigars in makes all the difference in the world. All next on the Zeal Cigar Review. Hey guys, my name is Bradley and I'm here to talk to you about this. I'm really excited about it because I love cigars. I'm assuming that you do too. Now, if you are a normal cigar smoker where you maybe smoke 1 or 2 or 3 cigars maybe a month, this probably isn't the video for you. But if you're an avid cigar smoker and you smoke cigars multiple times a week, this might help you decide what you want to store your cigars in and how long you actually want to store your cigars. So before I talk about how to store my cigars, you know what I got to do. I got to cut, light, and smoke. I know you guys probably wonder where JB is and the new setup and everything like that. I'm trying this because I got some feedback on the other setup, so I want to try this a little bit and see what you thought about this setup personally. So drop a comment below. Tell me if you like this corner type setup real quick because I really like it. I really enjoy it, but I want to know what you guys think because we want to produce content that you enjoy and that you like. So without further ado, let's talk about storing your cigars. Well, most of your cigars are going to come like this Ashton Maduro does. It's going to come in cellophane. So what cellophane actually is a biodegradable kind of plasticky material made out of fruit pectin. It's 100% biodegradable. You can actually eat it. I actually saw a guy do that one time on his live. I don't recommend you eating the cellophane, but to say that if you threw it down and after the first 2 or 3 rains, it'll actually emulsify. I've actually seen that happen before. So when you get a cigar, what do you do with it? Well, if you're going to smoke it in the next, week or so, put it in your humidor. When you put it in your humidor, one of the questions that we have often here is, do I take it out of the cellophane? Do I leave it in the cellophane? So I'm going to give you some pros and cons of cellophane versus non-cellophane. First, this is only by experience, and I know that the community, when it comes to cigars, are split down the middle on this. One of the things that you can do is actually keep it in the cellophane. What the cellophane does for the cigar, it actually protects the leaf, the outside leaf of the cigar right there that you can actually see. And what it also does is it keeps the propensity of any beetle larvae that might be in here that hatches because your humidor gets a little warm, above 80 degrees and above 80% humidity. Those are the sweet spot for beetles. What happens typically if you have your cigar in cellophane, the beetles will hatch and they will eat the cellophane and they will die. So if you do have a beetle larva in here and it hatches, what it does, it'll eat the cellophane and they can't digest it, so they end up dying. So this cellophane is actually really good for keeping your cigar completely, absolutely safe, and it can actually age in the cellophane sometimes better than without cellophane. So here's the other question. Do you cellophane or do you not cellophane? And what do I do? So most of the time, I really don't care about cellophane unless I'm thinking about beetles and so on and so forth. And I have a real nice humidor at home. I'll show you a picture like right over here so you can see it. But typically it stays 70-70 in that humidor, so I don't have to worry about, any, beetles hatching or anything else like that. So I'm not necessarily worried about beetles. And I usually am kind of a lazy cigar person, so I keep them in cellophane, but there are plenty of cigars that I do purchase that don't come with cellophane that I let age. And so when I age without cellophane or when I age with cellophane, can I tell the difference? The short answer is no, I really can't. I can definitely tell the difference with age, but I can't tell the difference between age with cellophane or without cellophane. So let me ask you a question. If you have the answer to this big issue and the solution, how do you do it at home? Drop a comment below and let me know, cello or no cello, and what's been your experience in aging cigars. The unfortunate thing to do a video about that would take a very, very long time, and I'd start somewhere and end it somewhere and tell you which one's what. And even then, sometimes the conditions, even if it's in the same humidor, depending on where it's at in the humidor, that can even change the taste of the cigars according to the blend, and sometimes tastes in cigars can vary from cigar to cigar. We all know this. But I would say that if you're a lazy guy like me, just put it in there cellophane. But if you want to look pretty, now I will say this, if you want to look pretty and it looks really, really good and real classy, take them out of the cellophane, because for display purposes, cigars always look better without cellophane than with cellophane. Now on to the Tubos. Now the Tubos are really interesting because people ask me when I put them in a humidor, do I pop open the top so the cigar can actually get, the humidity in there, or do I just keep them sealed and put them in the humidor? I would say this, just for, caution's sake, make sure that you pop the top or unscrew the top and then put them in there. It's going to give you a better chance of getting humidity into your cigar than keeping them like this. So if you go into our humidor, typically if you see something like this Camacho box press Tubo, we typically have the tops cracked open so that the cigar can receive humidity. It doesn't mean that if they're sealed up like this, they're not going to get any humidity, but you have a better chance of getting humidity all the way through. So yes, take the top off the Tubo and put it in there. Something else I think the Tubo does very, very well, like for all the golf guys out there, which I know are big golfers, it protects your leaf very, very well. Better than cellophane, and when you drop it, it doesn't damage the cigar whatsoever. You could throw it off a cliff, it probably won't damage the cigar. Don't do that. Respect the cigars. But like when you throw them in your golf bag or something like that, or in your glove compartment for the day when you're going out, and it's not too hot outside, the cigar is going to be perfectly kept great in this. Now I want to talk about humidors. Now there's like basically 3 different types of humidors. There's your classic wooden humidor, looks a little something like this. There's your acrylic humidor, looks a little something like this. And there's your new fancy coolador, looks something like this. And all of them do a good job typically at keeping your cigars humidified if you keep up with them. First off, the wooden humidor is the hardest to maintain the humidity in, bar none, of all of them. A lot of times the seal that you have on the wooden humidor will go bad over time, and you have to reseal it, rehumidify it, and everything else like that. And if you live in a dry, airy part of the country like we do here in Arizona, it gets really, really hot. Even in our houses, a lot of us keep them at 80 degrees. In the summer in particular, you really run the risk of it not being good for your cigars and that seal drying up faster than typically normal. Now, if you have an acrylic humidor, in my personal opinion, the acrylic humidor is probably where it's at, and it's the best overall humidor. Particularly for you guys who are like me, you're a set it and forget it guy, okay? Now, because I'm in the cigar industry and because I do reviews and everything like that, I have a really nice coolador, and I'll show you that in a second. But the acrylic humidor, even for a starter, is really easy to set it and forget it. You pop the cigars in there and you pop a humidity solution in there, whether it's a Boveda pack or a little shot glass with some water beads and some propylene glycol with distilled water in there. It's going to be fine pretty much forever. I've stored cigars in an acrylic humidor for a very long time, like 5 years before, and they're all great, just with one Boveda pack, believe it or not. So with that said, I'm telling you the truth. That's the easiest set it and forget it way of doing it. Now, for you guys who are coolador fans and you want the nice fancy stuff and the really cool stuff, or maybe you just have a lot of cigars, you need to store a lot of cigars, then I would say make sure that you take the big coolador and get it set right the first time, and you won't be screwing with it down the road a little bit. That's what happens to a lot of people. They just put the cigars in there, put the humidity solution, and just let it sit there. Some humidors, usually more expensive, are easier that way. Some humidors you need to make sure that everything's seasoned, maybe wash it out because maybe you have a plasticky smell when you get it. But I will tell you this, that is a better, or actually the best, set it and forget it option that may not be as display friendly, particularly on your desk at home, but if you want to take your cigars and set it in there, you have to watch it just a little bit. Now the other ones you might have to watch a little bit more. Save the acrylic. Again, the acrylic is by far the easiest set it and forget it option. But you're here not just to see me talk about this kind of stuff, you're here to see me smoke a cigar. So I got 3 Camachos right here, all of them are Tubos, and I've done an experiment where I had one of these open and one of these closed for about a year in the humidor. I'm gonna smoke both of them back to back and let you know if there's any change or transition or if it's even drier. And I'll show you the cigar as well. This Camacho Connecticut has been really left open the whole time. This Camacho Corojo, really, really good, has been closed the whole time. So we'll see if they're brittle or anything else like that and see what the humidity does. So let's check it out. Connecticut. And here's the Corojo. Now both seem just perfect. They don't seem like there's any cracks or anything else like that, but in the smokability, let's see which one smokes better and if there's any difference in there. So let's get into it. It's Camacho Connecticut, smooth, creamy, very little spice, nice woodsy, nutsy notes, tender, not at all hard or dry. Now this is the one that was open. Let's go on to the Corojo and see if there's any difference. At least a year with it closed inside a humidified humidor. So let's see if it makes any kind of difference. to be forthright, and I don't know if this is because it was closed inside the humidor or anything else like that, but it's a little more tighter of a draw. Yeah, still good flavor. Everything seems to be okay with it. So I don't know that having your tubos closed inside your humidor is super detrimental, but I would leave them open just for that sake. So what do you do with your Tubos cigars? Drop a comment below and let me know. And how do you store your cigars? In cellophane or out of cellophane, and why? And what kind of humidor do you have at home? Do you have a wooden one, an acrylic one, or maybe even a coolador? Drop a comment below and I'll meet you down in the comments. So for the Zeal Cigar Review, I've been Bradley and I'm out of here like last year. Peace.